All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're watching this from. Welcome to Africa Informants Dialogue. This is brought to you by Seed Africa Initiative for Youth Development. My name is Lawal G. Olamileko, and I am going to be your host for today. You know what? Interestingly, we've tried doing this before now. I don't know for those of for our viewers who have tried connecting with us from the beginning, and we had some glitches. We had to re-strategize and get back to you guys because we have to get this done. We have to get this done. So I'm glad to finally have our guests who will be taking us through today's discussion, today's dialogue. I feel like calling the full name, but I'm compelled to just call the first name Bekere. I guess that's the first name. So I'm trying not to murder your name actually, and I want to try as much as possible to call it the right way. So we have Bekere Amassoma. Did I try?
You're pretty much right.
Okay.
And yes, it is Bekere Amassoma. Don't worry. I have heard different versions of my name. I'm no longer angry, when people didn't get my name right. Say
all right. Okay. Okay, thank God I'm free. So because today is World Day of Social Justice, and I know Bekere will not take that against me in the court of law. So we have to commemorate with the United Nations Day of Social Justice. And funny enough, today's theme is called A Call for Social Justice in the Digital Economy. A call for social justice in the digital economy. I'm not going to do the talking. I'll be interacting with Bekere so we can get this done, so we can make you all understand what does it mean to be in a digital economy, and how can we relate social justice with digital economy. But before I go forward, let me ask, let's meet you, Bekere.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lekon, for inviting me over. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here. My name is Bekere Amassoma. Yes, my other name is Esther, but I feel like there are so many other Esthers. So I wouldn't be unique. So usually people I'm the only Bekere in people's circles. So when I say, hi, this is Bekere, like, oh, Bekere, right? Yes, they always remember me, right? And I work as a programs officer in the philanthropic arm of a multinational computer tech corporation, and it's been an interesting journey so far. So I'm fully involved in social work. I'm fully involved in the development space, and it gives me so much joy, right? I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm married, and I have keen interest in in STEM education, to advance the cause of even social justice. So I don't know what else you guys would like to know about me, but that's it for me for now.
Okay. So to also add to what Bekere just said, I know Bekere is also a non-resident fellow of the Nigerian Global Affairs Council, NIGAC. So it's nice having you today, Bekere, and I know we're going to have a wonderful time today.
Oh yes,
I know.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so let me start by asking this question. Let's try and create an introduction to social justice. What exactly is social justice?
Okay, so for me, social justice is, simply giving everybody equality, equity, and a fair play in the society, right? It's just giving everybody like a level playing ground for everybody to thrive, for everyone to, to make progress in life. So it's not just giving any undue advantage to somebody because of maybe race, class, or ethnic coloration. So for me, that was just simply put. Yeah, of course there are more in-depth definitions to it, but let's just stick with it for now. Just giving everyone a level playing ground, equity, fairness, justice.
Yes, let's give everyone a level playing ground, regardless of their background, cultural affiliation, political affiliation, color, whatever. We are all equal before the law. Okay, so thank you. The interesting thing is that today we are trying to, the United Nations decided that, okay, let's observe this day as a way of calling everybody to create an atmosphere for social justice in the digital economy. Now, it's not news that we are in the jet age. The 21st century is experiencing the boom in digital economy, technological advancement, and it's creating a lot of social injustice to people. Let me start with this scenario. During the presidential election in Uganda, where we had the incumbent president and I hope I don't murder his name also, Robert, Robert, but popularly Bobby Wine. Yes, popularly known as Bobby Wine.
Bobby Wine, yeah.
Yes, and that's the
musician.
Yeah, and he used social media to drive as a youth to drive engagement and everything. But something funny happened in Uganda. The internet was shut down. As a way. I'm trying not to be biased because as a young man, and what we do in South Africa, we promote youth development. But it became a tool to disconnect a candidate from reaching his audience, his target audience.
Supporters.
Yes, it's his supporters. So for me personally, I see that as injustice. Though the injustice was not performed by, though he was arrested, some other injustices were done to him, but the fact that his major stronghold was taken away. So I want to ask, let me start by asking this question. Okay, what is the role of the digital space in fostering social justice we are in Nigeria and in Africa at large?
Okay, thank you so much. So that question is really is a very critical question. So in the space of around 5 to 10 years, we have seen how, there's been a clamor for change via the use of digital channels. So social media has been very instrumental in causing change. So digital media is definitely on the rise. Digital space is definitely is definitely one to watch, and is on the rise because of people who are shy, or afraid to voice out their opinions before, now have a platform for them to talk, right? They now have a platform for them to air their views. So these are it's the role of the digital space cannot be overemphasized, and is here and is here to stay. And I can tell you that nobody can take it away. So digital media activity must greatly increase because people are demanding for social justice now. They are sitting behind their keypads, either anonymously or but it's not physical, it's mostly virtual, right? So there's more security for them. Their lives are really not at threat, or their lives are no longer be threatened, because of course some people, you cannot even locate some people, but they are sending sending messages, powerful messages, through the use of digital space. So also the space has been able to help it has also helped to shape governance. So it's helping to shape governance. We're not yet there as a country, right? But it is helping to keep people accountable. It is making our leaders a lot more accountable. Before, would you see like a town hall or a governor or a House of Rep member going to his constituency to say, okay, come sit down, let us talk? It is because there is an increased clamor for accountability on the part of the of people in power, with the use of the digital space, with the use of social media. So it is played a very vital role, right, in the advancement and in the advancement of the cause of social media. And also for me, the social media, as giving power to a lot more women, right? It has helped to reduce the gender gap, right, in the terms of access to justice, pay, and women are beginning to demand a better quality of life. And this may not have been possible to this great extent without the use of digital like media and social media. So it is playing a very important role in society.
Yeah, because let me try and create a twist here somehow. You know, while you were explaining to us how social media, how digital space is fostering social justice in Nigeria. You know, you made mention of how people can now come out to voice out, how people can come out to you know, make the world known about
Demand.
their demands. Yes, and coincidentally, no, last week Saturday, we had the Occupy Lekki toll gate as a continuation of the EndSARS protest that was done in 20th of October 2020, which I, you know, by what we had and what we got to know that led to the Occupy Lekki toll gate, is because a judgment was given that the Lekki toll gate should be reopened. Meanwhile, we've not gotten justice to those who were killed. Yes, because I know a lot of people will say allegedly killed, but for me, I believe a lot of people were killed. To those who were killed,
yes,
to those who were brutalized, and yet we want to. That's why I said it's a twist. Now, I know that the social media, which is one of the tools of the digital space, was a driving force to the EndSARS protest. But yet in Nigeria, because I'm saying Nigeria because I know we have so many other people in the other African countries who will be seeing this and who are watching this right now. But we're using Nigeria as a case study. Now we have the social media bill, which we've been on for a while, and you know, the youths and so many CSOs keep on agitating and saying, no, you cannot shut people down. You cannot control what people say, because it's going to be against the freedom of information and freedom of expression, rather.
Speech. Yeah.
Yes, freedom of speech and to express yourself. So my question is, this social media bill, how is it going to actually affect youth in Nigeria and, like we saw in Uganda? How will it affect youth in Nigeria and Africa?
Okay, so thank you very much. Let me just give a base to this. So the social media bill, which is known as the Protection from Internet Falsehood and Manipulation of Other Related Matters Bill 2019, aka social media bill. Yes. The bill aims to, you know, criminalize the use of social media in peddling falsehood and malicious information, and also, you know, to curtail hate speech, right? But yeah, it should be a good bill in my opinion, if the sincerity of the government is not being questioned, right? If you know, but because of the kind of leaders that we have, we would have to oppose it. Now it would affect the youths. I'll just give 3 ways or 2 ways it can affect the youth, right? So they will gag the speech, you know, of young people. People will not be able to be bold or be brave to come out and, you know, air their views. That's one. So another one is it will stifle their creativity, right? And it will further impoverish the people. That is how the social media bill will affect. But guess what? This is going to be, in my opinion, this is going to last for only a short while, because I know that even the very people that are propagating the bill are the ones that are the lawbreakers. They're the ones that are propagating hate speech. They're the ones that are spreading falsehood. So how we do not? They are not sincere with that bill. So it's not going to last for a long time. I can tell you. It's not going to last for a short time. Yes, it's going to affect youth. People will be gagged. People will be afraid because they don't want to, you know, they don't want to be a shower that they will go and throw into jail, right? But on the long run, we are going to mobilize and come against that bill. And no, it will not stand, because the very people that propagate the bill are the ones that are promoting, you know, hate speech and promoting division of the country.
Okay, you know,
so, yes.
why you were speaking, you know, a thought came to my head, and I was thinking that, if let's imagine that we have this same kind of bill in United States of America, where we had the erstwhile presidents, using the social media as a tool to drive. The truth is, I actually enjoyed. For me personally, I enjoyed this. It was fun. Though I know the current one would tilt towards the light, but that brings me to the fact that we, as much as we clamor for social media, no social media bill and the rest of them, I discovered that the social media, the digital space is very, very easy for us to move around fake news. As someone who works in the tech industry, and who also understands the social development aspects of Nigeria, how do you think we can curtail hate speech as much as we want growth in digital space? How can we curtail fake news, because it's very rampant and it's also a means of injustice actually?
Okay, yes, of course it is I agree with you. Like I said at the beginning of the other question, I said that it is a very good bill, right? Nobody should be supporting hate speech. Nobody should be spreading false information. Nobody should be spreading, malicious information. See the guys that were killed, the Alu 4 that were killed in Rivers State some years ago. They were, they were wrongly accused and they were killed. That is wrong and malicious information that was being spread, right? So, but what we'll do is that every information that you get, verify it first. Verify that it is happening before you spread, because this will go to our parents, because they're the ones that are quick to send this to 5 people and all of that. Those are those are the ways that false information spread. So please try to verify information. Most recently, I think during the week, there were rumors in the social media about a bombing that was going on in Olu in Imo State, which was maybe just a routine military exercise, right? It was false information that they were bombing civilians, and people were saying, "Oh, soldiers, what are you coming to do in Olu? Why not go to Sambisa?" No, they were just, they were just carrying out their regular exercises. So what we'll do is verify, verify every news you get first before spreading it. I think that way we'll be able to, curtail speech, curtail malicious information being spread, and also curtail falsehood that is being spread. And on the part of the government, they will do well to, actually arrest people and prosecute people in government who promote hate speeches, because there's a section, I don't want to mention names, but there's a section of the country that keep thinking that they have all the power to themselves and they can do whatever, and they can grab any land, and their cows can feed any land, and go into people's lands and kill them. And they spread all sort of falsehood, and those people are not brought to book. And those people are not being prosecuted. They are spreading hate across the country. They are spreading falsehood. And those people, they should start by prosecuting people that, actually spread this falsehood, that are propagating, against the violent division of Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria may be divided, but it can be done, non-violently. So, yes, number one, verify every news you get first. Then number two, the government should actually clamp down on people that spread falsehood and that spread hate speech. And I mean people in government, because there are people in government that are even fueling, this hate speech and falsehood. So let's start with them.
Yes.
And we'll go ahead to arrest them, in my opinion.
So let's start from the home. You don't when you want to sweep, you don't start from outside and sweep inside. You sweep the dirt inside and sweep it outside, so that you don't make the dirt outside, inside the house. Okay, that's very fantastic. And you said something I think I want to also lay emphasis on. You said there's a need for us to verify. Okay. Well, I know you mentioned the parents, but the truth is, as the youths actually fall victims a lot. And it got to me that most times we ourselves, even we carry out injustice to others, to so many to others. We spread this wrong information that we do not verify. During the NSAS protest, as much as I can say from different sources that from different sources, bless you, that we had the presence of the military personnel and the shotguns. But there was a particular video that was circulating then, where we had a guy in a soldier in an ammo tank and was shooting sporadically, and people said that happened at sorry, bless you. Do you want to get a cup? Do you want to get a cup of water? You could pause. You could pause.
No, it's fine. I'm okay.
Okay. So I have someone who is sending a request to this. Boluwa Ayodele. Okay, I guess you want to chip in a comment. So maybe I'm just going to allow you, so you can probably chip in your comments. Boluwa. So I just accepted you. Boluwa.
Hi, Ebon. Ebon is actually my colleague.
Okay.
Hi, Bekere. I didn't even know that it was a call that I was going to have to speak on. I thought it was like Zoom, and I was just
okay. Maybe you might have a question for us.
Thank you for joining.
Or suggestion, whatever.
Pardon?
Okay, I said, since you are in already, maybe you want to ask us a question or recommendation or suggestion to what we are talking about.
Okay. I would say, I joined because obviously I'm just here to support Bekere, right? As she said, I'm her colleague. So if I'm going to be completely honest, I won't say I know exactly what it's about. It was just about turning up for a friend.
Okay.
So you can just really educate me, really. That's what I would say. Educate me on what you're doing and what the plans are, and maybe something that I can also come on.
All right. So you just need to follow us. Okay, so we are talking about a call for social justice in the world of digital economy. This is to commemorate the United Nations Day of World Day of Social Justice. So that is what we are having this dialogue on. So maybe when you follow us, you can call in to chip in your tukobo, like we usually say. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ebon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye then.
All right. So thank you, Ebon, for that call. It was nice having you. And I think I kind of love Facebook room. Actually, I kind of love Facebook room. For me, it's more convenient for me, actually. All right. So I was saying something about the ammo tank and the soldier that was shooting sporadically, and this video was spreading around, and a lot of people said that happened at the toll gate that was during the NSAS protest.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I personally had to go online and had to verify, check facts about that video, and it was just another video that was imported into the Lekki toll gate saga then. So there's a way they mixed it together, and it looks real. And that is what happened a lot of time. And that is why we're having issues. And the government also wants to try to regulate what happens online. But because of time, I'm trying to move very fast. I have another question that I want Bekere to kind of help us with. And that is the fact that, as young people who really do a lot of things online, and something happened recently, and this is not to remove the fact that we have some kind of unscrupulous elements out there who represent some youths, and they do all sort of things online. But recently, we have the Nigerian government put a ban on cryptocurrency. Personally, I see this as injustice to some of us who do a lot of things online and probably earn from this source. So I don't know, Bekere, how do you think this ban would actually affect the economic development? Because to me, it's injustice actually. The economic effect of young people, especially in this period where we do more of activities are actually online now. How do you think this will?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'll just give a base before I'll even give my response, right? So cryptocurrency is an essential part of the digital economy, of the global digital economy, not just, Nigeria. The global economy would, I'm foreseeing that we may even shift, we may leave out the paper, currency and maybe move towards, digital currency sometime in the future, right? So, and I feel that this regulation is being, aside from, unscrupulous elements, like you earlier mentioned, that are, making their way with, this means of legal tender or of payments, the government is also trying to regulate it because, during the NSAS protest, the support that came into for the frontline protesters came in through a lot of cryptocurrency. So, and that is a form of, and people were demanding social justice by protesting, right? And the government is now trying to, stifle their means of, gathering.
Yeah.
Because you understand that, a lot of money flowed in that time. Because you have to fund, people's transportation, food, medical supplies, cleanup, vests, and all of those things. Those things require money, right? In as much as, as we are protesting, some of those things would require a lot of money. I know a lot of funding came in through the cryptocurrency method. That's why, the government, the Nigerian government, and even not just the Nigerian government alone, governments around the world are trying to stifle it because it poses a great threat to them, right? Because it is controlled by the blockchain technology, which they do not have control over. So there's a way it would affect youth, yes, adversely, yes, for people that have invested in crypto. I haven't yet invested in crypto. I was looking into it, by the way, but I haven't yet, before now. But I will still, there's no way. But what I have been able to, deduce is that, yes, it's going to affect, adversely young people financially, but for a short period, because on the long run, because that is where the world is tilting to, the global economy. We can't do away with crypto or digital currency. People will find a more sustainable way of doing it, right? People will find a long-term, way of, they will explore more ways of doing it in a more sustainable way. So it will just bring about more innovation and more creativity. Yes, on the short run, yes, it's going to affect people. Some people would have lost millions of naira. But look, youth will bounce back and we will look for more sustainable ways, to explore trading and exchanging digital currency.
I love that word, youth would bounce back. Yes, sincerely speaking. Yes, so for those who are watching, this is the Africa Informants Dialogue with Bekere, and today we are discussing about a call for social justice in the digital economy and to commemorate with the United Nations World Day of Social Justice. And it's been fun, actually. It's been fun, sincerely speaking. I am enjoying myself. I'm learning a lot, and I hope you guys watching us out there, you're also enjoying yourself. So please do us a favor as you're watching this. You can kindly drop your comments, drop your likes, share to your friends. Like I usually say, your enemies and your enemies. No, you shouldn't have enemies, actually. Well, just send around to people so they can join us in being part of this. So this is brought to you by Seed Africa Initiative for Youth Development. All right, so because I have two more questions before we start wrapping up things here. The first one, while you were speaking the other time, you made mention of the fact that the digital economy and digital space has brought about, this gender, you know, there's this kind of more orientation that gets to the females out there. Personally, I am a gender advocate. I advocate a lot for female inclusion in governance, in everything, in virtually everything. You understand me? So, and you made a point about that. But I want to ask now, how can we make use of these opportunities in the digital space to bring about more inclusion in society, where every one of us are living to the fullest in the society, regardless of disabilities, regardless of race, color, culture, political affiliation, or whatever? How can we make use of these opportunities for better inclusion?
Okay, thank you. So, you know what? Because the digital space is, for me, is a limitless space, right? It doesn't have boundaries.
Yeah.
So, what we can begin to do as a people, or as, you know, advocacy groups and all of that, is we can, you know, carry out mass reorientation. We can hold public enlightenment campaigns and ensure that, you know, people begin to rethink. There has to be some sort of reorientation, because in a country where you know, you are driving on the way and you see somebody being robbed and you just drive past, it's wrong. So there has to be some sort of, you know, reorientation, and you begin to see the other person as first a human being before they are either Yoruba or they are Nigerians or they are Igbos or they are Christians or they are Muslims, right? We must begin to, you know what, orientate people, hold public enlightenment campaigns, encourage people to be more involved in the civic, in their civic responsibilities, go out and vote, because that way you are being included. Women are allowed to vote, and that way we, you know, we are able to vote in more women to cause, you know, more change. And also, you know, we should carry out enlightenment in the digital space to, you know, to tell people more about healthcare, that and tell them their fundamental human rights, so that they begin to demand for things, and that way they are being included, right? Now we should begin to campaign for free education. We should begin to campaign for out of school children to be included into the educational system. So for instance, the Almajiri, we need to include them into the educational system. Fine, they may not, you know, they may not be used to the four walls of education thing. So we have to, you know, create a model that can work. But all this has to start firstly with reorientation and public enlightenment. That number one, those things are our fundamental human rights, and we must begin to, you know, demand for them. That way everybody is carried along, women are carried along, children, youth, you know, youth empowerment, begin to tell the youth what they really deserve, right, from their government. So that way the digital space can revolutionize the country.
Okay, let me try and take it from this direction. You know, we have for example, like you mentioned, the Almajiris. I just thought about something now, that, you know, the digital space is booming, it's growing fantastically, and not everyone have access to this digital space. A lot of people that probably, like you said, the orientation, do not, they don't even come online. They don't even, some people do not believe in you know, just having transactions on your phone. You know, how do we, like, how do people like you and I, okay, we are technologically inclined to some level, how do we, then a lot of young people out there also, how can we make these people who are not included in this digital society to be able to be part of these developments and opportunities that we might be enjoying of, if the opportunities there actually?
Okay, so like I said, so we have to take it offline, really. So those of us online, we will not have to take it offline, because if they are saying the benefits or the blessings, because even in the digital space, there are courses, but I believe that the digital space is more of a blessing than a course, right? So we can start, you know, peer-to-peer mentoring, and tell our fellow youths that do not, understand how it works, and say, look, yes, there are dangers, yes, there are scammers, but do you know that if you do this and this, you'll be able to protect yourself from scammers, but also you'll be able to reach a larger audience via, with your, your Instagram page or your Twitter page. You will get more sales. We really need to begin to preach this message via maybe peer-to-peer, and take it offline. We can also organize, public enlightenment campaigns offline. We go to the market women, we go to the hospitals, the public hospitals where we have low-income women, and we begin to, explain these things to them, that because this is the future, right? So we can't run away from it. Because with the advent of COVID, we saw how many businesses crumbled, many businesses which were not in the digital space. You see how they were not able to survive, right? That's why we had a lot of unemployment. The unemployment rate went high and all of that. So beyond, take beyond the online space, we need to take it offline. We can do it peer to peer. We can also do public enlightenment, campaigns and mass reorientation offline.
Okay, talking about COVID, and I think this should be my last question. Talking about COVID, 2020 was a year that I would never forget in the world, actually. And the funny thing is, I love the fact that the year is so unique. 2020, and it brought its own changes. And yes, and the digital space actually boomed, in that particular that year. We had the likes of Zoom, skyrocketing. We had even the Facebook room. A lot of things came out. A lot of positivity came out of the pandemic. Yes, which I think one of them is the fact that workspace, we have to start thinking differently the way we work, especially in this part of the world, in Africa, where we might not necessarily be we might not have accepted these technologies as much as it has been in existence in other parts of the world. So I want to ask, so how can going forward, because the pandemic is still there, how can we make use of digital space, to drive engagement about COVID-19, and to also change the pattern of work? How can we make use of this to drive engagement about COVID-19 and change the pattern of work?
Okay. Thank you very much. So at the advent of COVID-19, what statement? There was a statement that came to my mind. Like I was telling my husband, it's a word that I heard years ago from one of my my bosses when I started out early in my career. He used to tell us that it's either you innovate or you die. As in, there are no two words about it, right? So I think that this pandemic brought about a lot of innovation, and you have to think. And another thing is that it made a lot of digitized processes come up. So now we can see that CSE is no longer accepting physical working into their offices, and everything is now online. It wasn't possible before, or nobody would have thought, that CSC is not going to have lawyer, customers.
Secretary, this, that. Okay.
Yeah. So and also some other businesses. So I would advise that everybody digitize your business, whatever you're doing. If you're selling services, if you're selling products, you have to have an online presence. That's the only way that you can be resilient. That's the only way your business can have agility to survive these times. And push, do your ads and all of that. Digital marketing is the way to go, at least for businesses, for both service-based businesses and and product-based businesses, and even NGOs, even large corporations. Like for instance, in my organization, though we had this work from home thing going on, for a few times, you know, in a week. You can decide, okay, I may come in today, I may not come in today. It was a bit flexible before COVID-19, but this, you know, it was just an easy transition for, not so easy, by the way. But guess what? For about a year now, I have been working from home since March last year. I can't go to the office. I've been working from home, but I can tell you that my results have been phenomenal, right? Because there's now a lot of hunger for knowledge. A lot of people are looking out for knowledge in the virtual space. During the lockdown, a lot of people wanted, you know, things they could consume, right? They needed knowledge, and you know, all of those things drove the digital economy. So I would advise that the digital economy, the digital space is very important for you to pivot into as a business, so that, you know, you can increase your sales. You know, a lot of things came up then, right? Even COVID-19 information was being passed every day. We will have to go to the NCDC website. Oh, how many cases do we have today for COVID? Are we making a headway, or, you know, we're going back? You know, all of those things wouldn't have been possible without, you know, digitization, without the digital space. Because if we have waited, oh, let's watch NTA or something, what if we don't have lights when they're announcing the figures, or when they're doing the presidential task force meetings, you know? But you have phones you have phones where you can quickly check records, and, you know, and all of that. And interesting, you know, new meeting models came up. We were able to develop, you know, Zoom came to the fore, Google Rooms, you know, new meeting models emerged. And guess what? We're able to connect with a lot more people. So before, if we're having physical events that could take maybe about 50 people, now, because with, you know, with Google Rooms, with Zoom links and all of that, you're able to take in 2,000 people. You're even taking more people. Thereby, you're, you know, reaching out to more people. You are getting connected to more people. And the world is, you know, becoming a very smaller, you know, space. And, you know, like I said, more people have connected more than before. I don't think that we've had more connections like this ever in the history of man. And also, an interesting fact is that some businesses recorded, you know, some businesses have made record sales in this period. They have made sales like they have never made before because of the pandemic, right? And because, you know, they transitioned, they pivoted into the digital space. So the digital space has greatly revolutionized, you know, the workspace, and it has, you know, it has helped the new normal. Like, I don't think maybe many people would have survived it till now if there was no digital economy, or there was no social media, right? So that's it for me. It's a space that cannot be overlooked, and everybody should try to get their own pie out of the digital space. I would like to conclude with that.
Wow, it's been a wonderful time with you. Seriously, I feel like giving you a standing ovation, and let me just get my hands together. Sincerely speaking, I have been enjoying myself. And I wish we can just continue and keep on going and going and going. But unfortunately, we just have to put an end to this at this junction. It's been a wonderful time, you know, discussing with you. Bekere Amassoma. I have been trying not to pronounce that Amassoma, so I don't murder it. But finally, I think I have to do that.
It's fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be wonderful having you. And for audience out there, please, this is not a one-time thing. We do this regularly. You can follow us at Seed Africa on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. It's all Seed Africa, at Seed Africa, SIID Africa, SIIDAFRICA. It almost sounds like I couldn't spell Africa. I have to spell it out. So you can join us on Seed Africa. We do this regularly. And we recently started, the dialogue is a continuation. It's to foster our engagement for African reformers. So we have this, what we call the African Reformers Movement. And we have the network on Facebook, where you can literally search for African Reformers Network on Facebook. This is where we try to encourage citizens to be able to take actions in their community, not to wait all the time for the government. So we can see what we can do in our own little space to drive development. So you can also want to check the Africa Informants Network out on Facebook to be part of this. So the dialogue is just to foster engagement, to help us drive engagement for this. All right, so this is a wrap up already. Thank you so much. Please, in case you have questions for Bekere, you can drop it in the comment sections. So in the comment section rather, so that we can you can get your response. Also, I would like to state that though I didn't discuss this with you, Bekere, before now. In the Africa Informants Network group, we've been planning to do something now, to start a mentorship program where we bring people like you to the group as mentors, so people can connect with you as mentee, so you can share your experiences with them, the knowledge with them. They can ask you, mentor to mentee kind of thing. So I will get to that later on. All right, so wrap up. Bekere, how
no
can
problem.
people connect?
I'll be glad to. I'll be glad to mentor as much people as possible, because that's the only way we can grow as a society. And of course, having more women in the mainstream, politics, in business, in career, adds to the overall advancement of the society. So that I'll be glad to be a mentor on your platform. And yes, they can reach me on Facebook. My name is Bekere Amassoma on Facebook. Send me a connection request. I would accept. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn also. That's where I promote most of the job I do, most of the work I do in my job. And then also and as a NIGAC fellow, I would try to promote most of the work I do too, because recently I serve on the team of the governance barometer team in NIGAC as a resident policy fellow. And it's an interesting one for me, because we are tracking what the governors say they are doing, or ministries are saying that they are doing. Because if you say, oh, I have I allocated so amount, $1 billion to do this, where are the schools you built? We must begin to hold these people accountable. So it's an interesting journey for me. I would like to connect with as many people as possible. So LinkedIn is still Bekere Amassoma. Facebook is Bekere Amassoma.
I guess
Twitter is Bekere.da.
Once you search for Bekere Amassoma on Google, because you have a very unique name. So I think it's very easy. All right, so thank you so much, Bekere. It's nice having you here today. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you so much. And I hope to have you another time on the dialogue. All right, so guys, I would like to let Bekere go. So
all right, bye.
All right, so bye-bye. All right, guys, so thank you so much. It's a wonderful time, and I hope you all enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself, sincerely speaking. I enjoyed myself so much, and I learned a lot of things, and I hope you also learned something meaningful and something that you can that can drive you, that can push you to do more. So my name is Lawal G. Olaminekon, and this is the Africa Informants Dialogue is brought to you by Seed Africa Initiative for Youth Development. So see you in the next dialogue.